won't none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, baby, we're going to talk about the number 12 North Carolina Tar Heels taking on the Michigan State Spartans at 9:30 ESPN2 in the third round of the Maui Invitational, man. This is the third place game, and both teams will be looking to come out of Maui with a 2-1 record. Now, before we get into the intricate details of this basketball game, I want to take a second to thank all the Tar Heel Nation and anybody else that's been hanging out with your boy late at night as the Heels are over in paradise, man. We have literally been up 11 p.m. to like 3 a.m. Had really good chat, activity, and everything, man. So I really appreciate everybody coming and hanging out, all the diehards. Now, 9:30 tonight, Carolina, Michigan State, live reaction and watch party. We're going to stink and finish this thing out, baby. Should be the last late game of the year, per se. And we'll see if Carolina can come out with that third place trophy, man. Once again, it'll be much better if Carolina gets out of here 2-1 as opposed to 1-2. So let's jump right into this thing. The Michigan State Spartans are led by head coach Tom Izzo, who is 712 and 297 as the head coach at Michigan State. Hall of Fame type career, obviously. Their leading scorer is the 6'4", 195-pound senior guard, Jaden Atkins, who is averaging 12.7 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 2.3 assists. He's shooting 44.4% from the floor, but he's only shooting 21.2% from three. Now, he is a 91% free throw shooter, so this dude, has the ability to definitely stroke it. The Michigan State leading rebounder is the 6'9", 245-pound junior forward, Jackson Kohler, who's averaging 8.9 points per game, 7.9 rebounds, and 1 assist, and he's shooting 48.9% from the floor. And the Michigan State Spartans leading assist man is the 6'2", 190-pound freshman guard, Jeremy Fearsjr., who's averaging 6.7 points per game, 1 board, 5.7 assists, and he is shooting 50% from the floor. He's also an 80% free throw shooter. The North Carolina Tar Heels are led by head coach Hubert Davis, who is 82 and 33, good for a .713 winner percentage in his fourth year at the University of North Carolina. Their leading scorer is the 6', 180-pound senior All-American guard, R.J. Davis, who's averaging 18.8 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's still only shooting 37.4% from the field, 26.7% from three, but he is an 89% free throw shooter. The Heels' leading rebounder is the 6'9", 220-pound senior forward, Jalen Withers, who's averaging 7.2 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, 1 assist, and he's shooting 41.4% from the floor. He is a 46% three-point shooter at this time, and he's shooting a shade under 69% from the charity stripe. Got to clean that up. And then the Heels' leading assist man is the 6'1", 180-pound sophomore guard, Elliot Cadeau, who's averaging 14 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, and 5.8 assists. He's a 50% shooter, even though during the Auburn game, he, along with a couple of other Tar Heels, missed a couple of bunnies, man, that could have really cut into the lead in some pivotal moments. But he's shooting 50% from the field, and he's also shooting 33.3% from beyond the arc. So Carolina is going to have to be very tough in this game. They've played two very tough teams, man. That's been kind of the playbook against Carolina. Be physical, get in their face, do not make them or allow them to feel comfortable. So with all that being said, let's take a look at the team stats, man. And we can see that the Michigan State Spartans average 78.6 points per game, and they're giving up 66.9 points per game. So that's good for about an 12-point margin of victory. 46% from the floor. They are averaging 41 rebounds and 17.3 assists. And obviously they're on a 1-game losing streak because they just lost to Memphis. That same Memphis team that Carolina was able to beat in Memphis in the exhibition game without RJ Davis. Carolina is averaging 89.5 points per game, and they're giving up 77.8 points per game themselves, shooting 47.6% from the floor, and they are averaging 38 rebounds per game. They actually did out-rebound the Auburn Tigers, so that was good to see. And then you got Carolina averages 14.2 assists, 4.2 blocks, and obviously we lost against Auburn last night. So now that we've looked at the individual stats and the team stats, let's get into Russ's 3 keys to a Tar Heel victory. Key number 1 off the jump, man, has to be this. Carolina's going to get off to a fast start. Way too many times this season, Carolina's dug themselves into a big hole. They did it against Dayton. I think they were down by 21, were able to mount the comeback. Then they get down by, I think, 13 early in the game before they start to kind of make a run. And then Michigan State ends up taking, I think, a 19-point lead at the biggest portion of the game, to where Carolina was just unable to actually come back in that basketball game. We've seen it against Kansas. We've seen them just start slow. Carolina's got to come out of the tunnel, ready to stick and go, ready to match Michigan State's physicality, and they need to start fast in this basketball game. We have got to stop digging ourselves in a hole and spending the entire second half just trying to get back into the basketball game. We're capable, but that is not a recipe for sustained success. Key number 1, got to get off to a fast start. Key number 2, defensive rebounding. The simple fact of the matter, dude, is that Carolina has, although they've out-rebounded teams, they are not cleaning up the glass on the defensive boards, especially against Auburn, man. Janai Broome had an absolute party. I think he finished with 19 boards. And there were multiple opportunities where Auburn was able to get second chance opportunities, second chance points off of bad shots, because Carolina just wasn't finding a body and boxing out. So they have got to clean up the glass, not just out-rebound teams, but you have got to stop giving them second chance opportunities, especially when you're down. You play good defense, you need to find a body, box out, and get the stinking board. And key number 3, got to limit the turnovers, man. Carolina came into this tournament averaging just a shade over 7 turnovers, leading the entire country in turnovers per game. Well, they've had 12 and 21 points off of turnovers in the Dayton and the Auburn game, 25 total turnovers, which averages about 12 and a half, 13 turnovers per game. So in this tournament, they have basically doubled the amount of turnovers that they're committing, as they've been at the Maui Invitational, and that is not a recipe for success. And we saw that obviously against the Auburn Tigers. So key number 1, fast start. Key number 2, got to stink and clean up the glass on the defensive boards. And key number 3, you have got to limit turnovers. So with the 3 keys to victory out there for everybody to see, let's get into the prediction portion of this show. And first, we're going to look at the ESPN matchup indicator, which gives the North Carolina Tar Heels a 66.4% chance at beating the Michigan State Spartans. And I think that that's a pretty good number right there. Carolina should come out hot. They should come out ready to go, because not only were they punched in the mouth against the Dayton Flyers and they responded, Auburn punched them in the mouth again, and that was a big physical team, and Carolina needs to come out and kind of correct some of these issues, man, that we just talked about in the keys to a Tar Heel victory. So I fully anticipate Carolina is a better basketball team all around. I need them to come out strong, and I believe that they get the job done. Right now, Carolina is a 4.5-point favorite going into this basketball game, and while I do think that it will be a close basketball game, I think Carolina will get the job done. Michigan State's a little bit more stingy on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to go Carolina with a fairly close game, but I'm going to have them covering, and I'm going to say Carolina 82, Michigan State 77, and Carolina gets that third place trophy coming out of Maui. So this game is not as much about Michigan State. This basketball game is about the North Carolina Tar Heels. Okay, this is about us working on us. That's what I need to see. That's what I need to see. We got to fix some of these issues as we get out of Hawaii. We leave paradise and we come back to daggone reality, come back home. And I think the HD will have these boys ready with a 5-point victory, man. I got them covering 82-77. And I think we feel a little bit better coming out of the Maui Invitational. So do me a favor, man. You let me know, Tar Heel Nation, Spartan Nation, what you think about this basketball game down in the comment section. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you tonight for the live reaction and watch party at 9:30, baby. Go Heels, and we'll see you in a little bit.